Morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Bookeemonsters. My name is PK, and today is Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. And as we do every day, we look at the new releases that are being released into the wild this week. And on Wednesdays, we look at romances. So we will see what might inspire us to add to our TBR. Which we always need to do, right? Good morning, Annalise. How you doing? Did you have a good night? I know you're ahead of us. You were already having a good night, but how's the day going? Thank you. Back at ya. All righty. Let's see. Quick announcements. Hang on a second. Good morning, Mary. Happy Wednesday. Nope, not yet. They started the surgery around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon and had told my mother it was going to take 8 to 12 hours. And then, of course, recovery and so forth. I am picking her up when we're done here on my way to work, dropping her off at the hospital. And then hopefully I'll get some news. So just, I guess no news is good news at this point. If things had gone badly, I guess we would have gotten a call. No sprints tonight. It is Wednesday. I believe Sarah's doing sprints tonight over on the Bookish Knitter if you want to check that out. She starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, her channel is the Bookish Knitter. Our sprints next are on Thursday, tomorrow night at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. And so a couple ways to get you through the next couple days. Thank you very much. I know they are very powerful. I have seen prayer work. Let us look at new releases. Closing that down. Did you have a good night? Is it still raining there? We are expecting white stuff today, they are saying. It's the last day of being just cold instead of deadly cold. We're at about 30. But tomorrow and the next few days through, I think Monday, is going to be single and negative numbers. So I'm going to enjoy this day. Let's see what we got here. As always, we check the date to make sure they are right. Because we don't trust. We trust but verify. Yes. Red String Theory by Lauren Kung Jessen. This is a rom-com about two star-crossed lovers. A woman whose life is guided by her belief in the red string of fate finds her perfect match, but his skepticism about true love puts a knot in their chances. Just a date or a twist of fate? When it comes to love and art, Rooney Gao believes in signs. Most of all, she believes in the Chinese legend that everyone is tied to their one true love by the red string of fate. And that belief has inspired her career as an artist, as well as the large art installations she makes with, obviously, red string. That is until artist blocks strike and Rooney begins to question everything. But then fate leads her to the perfect guy. Jack Liu is perfect. He's absurdly smart, successful, handsome, and after one enchanting New York night, under icy February skies and fueled by fried dumplings, all signs point to destiny. Only Jack doesn't believe. After their magical date, it looks like they might be lost to each other forever, until they're given one more chance to reconnect. But can Rooney convince a reluctant skeptic to take a leap of fate? Tune in to find out. Plan to finish my book today. Yeah, you were close. And it has finally stopped raining. Now the winds have picked up a little. Things are absolutely saturated. It's all or nothing, isn't it? All or nothing. At least I'm still a bit asleep, but happy. Snowed in, I'm not. But it's a nice vacation. Yeah, particularly if you get to stay home and be cozy with your bunny. least your bunny lets you snuggle. Kyo doesn't let me snuggle. Hedging Your Bets by Jane Denker. Let's double check the date again. Yes, we're good. Opposites attract in this enemies to lovers romantic comedy of feuding neighbors and dueling hearts. When small town neighbors go head to head, better start hedging your bets. Jillian has been happily divorced for several years, and after trying a few dating apps, prefers to stay that way. Navigating her way through dates with fat shamers and lackluster men who has left her with no desire to do anything other than work in her garden in her spare time. Who needs rude comments and awkward first date conversation when soft roses and vibrant tulips are so much better? Like, same thing with books. Noah West has just moved to Willow Cove after a breakup that leaves him looking to get far away. He relocates to the same small town he spent summers in as a teen and moves right next door to Jillian, a big believer in minimalist design and that the best kind of plants are non-flowering. He knows as soon as he meets his neighbor that they are going to clash on just about everything. Now, if only he could keep his eyes off her too, that would be helpful. When a gardening contest brings out the competition in Jillian and Noah, dueling plant arrangements and fiery banter ensues. But is it possible that beneath all their differences, they might just be perfect for each other? That kind of sounds like a Hallmark movie, but sometimes you're in the mood for a Hallmark movie. Those two came out yesterday. This one is supposedly coming out tomorrow. Thoroughly Plucked, a brother's best friend's romance and a hockey romance by Lauren Blakely. 464 pages. Two-star hockey players and their best friend's little sister in a runaway bride rom-com. Picture this. I'm about to walk down the aisle when the groom decides to drop this news on me. He wants to dial it down to just F buddies. At the wedding? That's when my brother's oh dear. Yep, got two guys on it. Two pro hockey playing buddies help me escape seconds before the wedding march begins. But what's a runaway bride to do with a broken heart and a non-refundable honeymoon? Book an extra ticket and take two off-limits, totally charming, absolutely gorgeous star athletes who want to lift my spirits. When we arrive, there's only one bed in the hotel room. And it happens to fit three. What a coincidence. The goalie, the forward, and me. Looks like I'm about to get thoroughly fucked on my double honeymoon. Talk about lifting my spirits. Oh my. But again, sometimes you're in the mood for that, I guess. Cluelessly Yours by Max Monroe. And this one comes out on Saturday. The bad news, getting hit by a cab can officially get crossed off my bucket list. I never had that on my bucket list. The worst news, while I've woken up from my coma, the man I'm in love with hasn't stirred from his. And the most terrible news of all, a pregnant woman is at his bedside holding his hand and saying that he's the father of her baby. Complications. Sammy Baker is a divorced single mom trying to find her way again. With two boys and an absent ex-husband, she's got the world on her shoulders and Legos under her feet. Amid the okay, I have to admit that one's clever. Amid the chaos lives the dream of one day finding love again, though she didn't think that would land her smack dab in the middle of two men. Will Sammy choose a successful businessman who doesn't hesitate to tell her he's interested, or will she go for the eligible bachelor doctor with a constant influx of women vying for his attention? The smart choice and what the heart wants are two different things, and sometimes fate has a way of making it so the choice isn't ours at all. Cute cover. Like the stripes. And we get to close down two tabs. Oh my, indeed. Coffee is required. All right. Got steamy ones in the middle of winter. Arya Khanna's Bollywood Moment. This is a young adult romance. where a teen girl navigates her older sister's wedding, family and friend conflict, and a rivalry. I didn't say the author, I don't think. Let's see. Arya Khanna's Bollywood Moment by Arusha Abachat. A young adult romance where a teen girl navigates her older sister's wedding, family and friend conflict, and a rivalry with the attractive student body president. Shadi preparations are in full swing, which means lehenga shopping, taste testing, dance rehearsals, and best of all, Arya's sister Alina is home. The Khannas are together again, finally, and Arya wants to enjoy it. So she stifles her lingering resentment towards Alina, plays mediator during her sister's fights with their mother, and welcomes her future brother-in-law with open arms. Okay, maybe enjoy isn't exactly right. Meanwhile, at school, Arya's senior year dreams are unraveling. In between class and her part-time gig as a bookshop assistant, Arya struggles to navigate the aftermath of a bad breakup between her two best friends and a tense student council partnership with her rival, the frustratingly attractive Dean Merriweather, etc. Don't Want You Like a Best Friend by Emma Albin. Let's double check this date for some reason. 400 pages. Yep, we're good. A swoon-worthy debut, Victorian romance. Gwen has a brilliant beyond brilliant idea. It's 1857 and anxious debutante Beth has just one season to snag a wealthy husband, or she and her mother will be out on the streets, but playing the blushing ingenue makes Beth's skin crawl, and she'd rather be anywhere but here. Gwen, on the other hand, is on her fourth season and counting, with absolutely no intention of finding a husband, possibly ever. She figures she has plenty of security as the only daughter of a rakish earl, from whom she's gotten all her flair, fun, and less than proper party games. That's not how society worked back then. Let's get them together, she says. It doesn't take long for Gwen to hatch her latest scheme. Rather than surrender Beth to courtship, they should set up Gwen's father and Beth's newly widowed mother. Let them get married instead. It'll be easy, she says. There's just one teeny tiny problem. Their parents kind of seem to hate each other. But no worries, Beth and Gwen are more than up to the challenge of a little 20-year-old heartbreak. How hard can parent trapping widowed ex-lovers be? Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. Once again, young adult. When it comes to romance, sometimes it doesn't hurt to play games. Musical lover Riley has big aspirations to become a director on Broadway. Crucial to this plan that's not a plan, to bring her back her high school spring musical, but when Riley takes her mom's car without permission, she's grounded and stuck with the worst punishment, spending her after-school hours working at her dad's game shop. Riley can't waste her time working when she has a musical to save, so let's put on a show. So she convinces Nathan, a nerdy teen employee, to cover her shifts, and in exchange, she'll flirt with him to make his gamer girl crush jealous. But Riley didn't realize that meant joining Nathan's Dungeons and Dragons game, or that role playing would be so fun. Soon, Riley starts to think that flirting with Nathan doesn't require as much acting as she would have thought. We looked at hedging your bets. We looked at string theory. Those two are fantasy romance, so we'll look at those tomorrow. Recipe for a Charmed Life by Rachel Linden. After a day of unrivaled disappointments, a promising young chef finds every bite of food suddenly tastes bitter. To save her career, she travels to the Pacific Northwest to reconnect with her estranged mom and discovers a family legacy she never suspected in this delicious novel of blah, blah, blah. American chef Georgia May Jackson has one goal: to run her own restaurant in Paris. After a grueling decade working in Parisian kitchens, she is on the cusp of success. But in one disastrous night, Georgia loses her sous chef position, her French boyfriend, and her sense of taste. Renowned for her refined palate and daring use of bold flavors to create remarkable dishes, Georgia is devastated to discover her culinary gift has simply vanished. When she receives a surprising invitation from her estranged mother, Georgia flees to a small island near Seattle, hoping the visit will help her regain her spark in the kitchen. As she tentatively reconnects with her mom, a free-spirited hippie eager to make up for her past mistakes, Georgia realizes there is something about the enigmatic island she just cannot piece together. Good luck charms start appearing in the oddest places. Her neighbor's a puzzling, antagonistic, and annoyingly handsome oyster farmer, and her mother keeps hinting at a mysterious family legacy. The Ladies Rewrite the Rules by Suzanne Alain. Diana Boyle, a wealthy young widow, has no desire to ever marry again, particularly not to someone who merely wants her for her fortune. So when she discovers that she's listed in a directory of rich single women, she is furious, and rightly so. She confronts Maxwell Dean, the man who published the Bachelor's Directory, and is horrified to find he is far more attractive than his actions have led her to expect. However, Diana is unmoved by Max's explanation that he authored the list to assist younger sons like himself who cannot afford to marry unless it's to a woman of means. She gathers the ladies in the directory together to inform them of its existence, so they may circumvent fortune hunters' efforts to trick them into marriage. Though outraged, the women decide to embrace their unique position of power and reverse the usual gender roles by making the men dance to their tune, and together the ladies rewrite the rules. And the author rewrites history. Yeah, that was I like that the stripes on those covers. I'm making paper beads. Nice. Yes, that is a neat little subcategory of bead making. What paper are you using, Annalise? Something special? I have always wanted to make paper beads. Sounds like fun and a good way to, like reuse things. Yeah, it is. Just took the church's newsletter. Good paper. Magazines are very easy, but I use anything paper that is going in the bins. Adds color, glitter, washi tape, lunar, and solar paste. That sounds very cool. What time is it? We got time. Let's see, what was this one? Oh yeah, this was a romantic suspense one I had found on another page. Ocean of Lies by Ashley Macaulay. A fake honeymoon, a missing stepsister, and an island paradise with danger around every corner. For the past 8 years, Sydney Davis has been living a lie. Just when she starts to enjoy her comfortable life in a gated city, her stepsister Callie is taken right in front of her. Desperate for answers, the recent college graduate turns to the mysterious man who witnessed the attack. Luke Artino works for an off-the-record organization that specializes in preventing human trafficking in hopes that someday he'll forget about the one he couldn't save. When his boss finds Callie on a resort island in the Caribbean, Luke volunteers to go. All he needs now is a partner. With Sydney's unrelenting determination and language skills that could be helpful on the mission, Luke reluctantly brings her along. The two pose as newlyweds at the private resort, but the constant surveillance forces them to grow closer than either was prepared for. As the mystery of Callie's disappearance becomes more complicated, so do their feelings for each other. Ocean of Lies by Ashley Macaulay. All right, back to that page. Ah! And closing tabs as we go. Let's see. Any Duke in a Storm. Gorgeous dress. His shirt is coming off, as they do. Yep, this week. Any Duke in a Storm. Somebody was reading this last night, weren't they? Was it? No? Maybe not. By Amelie Howard, fourth in the Daring Duke series. Famed spy Lady Lisbeth Medford is on a ship bound for the West Indies, and the only thing more dangerous than her mission is the elusive Duke she's trying to capture. Lady Lisbeth Medford, Countess of Waterstone and famed international spy, if you're a spy, you're not supposed to be famous, is caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. She's determined to infiltrate a notorious smuggling ring in the West Indies while on a covert mission as a ship's captain. Okay. But even when her identity is compromised and she's forced to flee, the men chasing her are still hot on her heels. The trouble in front of her, however, might be even worse. Raphael Saint, the Duc de Ville, is her ship's new aggravating and dangerously charming sailing master, who might very well be part of the smuggling ring Elizabeth must bring to justice. But when a new deadly threat on the high seas looms, the only way out of danger is to face it together. We did that one. Thriller. Women's fiction, romance, historical. We had started to look at this one on Monday, I think, because it looked like a cozy mystery from the cover. And it has a title, but it's historical romance. But it is a mystery. Maybe we did look at it. Monday was so long ago, I can't remember. Let's look at obvious romances. Here's one. Oh, that might be more fantasy. Yeah, that's more fantasy. Never mind. We'll save it for tomorrow. No, 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 no. Did that one. Romantic suspense. Hideaway by Penelope Douglas, second in the Devil's Night series. This is a dark romance. Buried in the shadows of the city, there's an abandoned hotel called the Pope, surrounded by a mystery about the hidden 12th floor and the guest who never checked out. Banks knows the local legend, but Kai Mori believes the myth around the hotel. He and his friends think they know her, think they can scare her, but Banks knows something they don't. Even though she struggles to hide everything she feels, when Kai looks at her, the person he seeks is much closer than he'll ever realize. She'll never reveal her secret. This Devil's Night, Kai will be the hunted one. All right. Doesn't sound like love to me. Up. All righty. Just a quick scan there. We are out of time. Yes. You know, the covers sell it. Dark romance. They've got little subcategories of romance all over the place. Well, I have got to collect all my stuff. I need to go pick up my mom and take her to the hospital. I need to pick up the mail before I get to work. And then, of course, work. Sending home some good vibes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. And if you're watching it later, thank you for watching it later. Again, no sprints tonight, but I believe Sarah on the Bookish Knitter is. You can check out her channel. And our next sprints are tomorrow evening. Like you are my thoughts. Thank you very, very much. Tomorrow morning, same morning show, but we'll be looking at fantasy, science fiction. Fantasy, of course, also encompasses young adult fantasy, romance, romantic fantasy, or romantasy, and so forth. So we'll see what is being released into the wild tomorrow in that genre. Thank you guys. Stay safe, stay warm, and I appreciate all your good vibes, and I'll give you updates when I know them. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day. God bless.